just landed in Omaha. Well, just got to the hotel room in Omaha, as you can see. But I'm not gonna stay on here and chat too long because this is a lean over and it is 1 a.m., literally 1:01 a.m. and our van pickup time is 5 a.m. So basically what a lean over is, some people call it lean overs, some people call it stand-ups. It's usually like less than 12 or 13 hours of work. And I don't really know how and why it makes sense, but obviously minimum rest rules do not apply to these particular trips. This was on my line. I did not want it, I did not ask for it, but here we are. I tried to get rid of it, but honestly just nothing was working, and it's all good. It is what it is. So you work the last flight in, and then you work the first flight back to Salt Lake. So we took the last flight from Salt Lake to Omaha, and then we are obviously gonna work the first flight from Omaha to Salt Lake. So I'll be done by like 8:45 tomorrow morning, which is nice, but I'll obviously only get like 3 hours of sleep, if that, if I'm lucky, if I can fall asleep within the next 45 minutes. And then I'm obviously gonna have to take a nap tomorrow to adjust, to make up for the sleep I did not get tonight. This is the start of a new vlog though, obviously. Right after this, I have another 2-day trip that starts on Sunday, and it's a short Cincinnati layover. It's about 12 hours, so I'm not really planning on doing anything in Cincinnati, obviously, and we're probably gonna be staying close to the airport. But then right after that trip, I'm going to New York City with my mom and my sister for like a little vacation, which like, sometimes I fly for fun, sometimes, and by sometimes I mean never. So I'm very excited about that. I will include all of that vlog in this vlog as well, and I'm very excited. So anyway, that's it. I'm honestly just gonna get ready for bed and cross my fingers, like pray to the universe and that I can fall asleep as soon as possible, because I really need that 3 hours. If anything, 3 hours, please. Good morning. It's 4:49. It took me about a half hour to fall asleep, which by that time meant that I got an hour of sleep. So I'm not feeling amazing. Not at all. I have to head down to get onto the hotel shuttle to take us back to the airport. Only saving grace is that it's obviously one leg, and it's probably about a 2 hour and 15-minute flight top. There's no like food service for first class because I'm working first class again. It's just drinks and snacks, and I don't have a dairy-free cream, or else I drink a bunch of coffee, so I'm gonna have to pump myself full of Diet Coke or something, but we'll see how we survive. Wish me luck. I'm very tired, and I can't wait to sleep for like 3 hours when I get home. I'm back in my car. It's 8:35 in the morning. I am done from my one leg from Omaha. I'm actually picking up my mom. Long story short, I was gonna wait for her in the terminal, but her flight ended up landing about 35 minutes after mine, so it just made more sense to come get my car and then turn around and go. I'm gonna go get her just from passenger pickup. As I was saying earlier, I work Cincinnati tomorrow. 2 legs to Cincinnati, 1 leg back to Salt Lake. I'm off by 10:30 in the morning, Monday morning, so pretty easy trip, but I do have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning tomorrow because the report time is like 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, so not overly thrilled about that, but I'm very tired. I'm not thriving. I cannot wait to take a long nap, but I can't take too long of a nap because I have to be able to fall asleep tonight at a decent hour. So that's my update for now. So we made it to Cincinnati. As you can probably imagine, nothing ever goes to plan. We were supposed to be here by like landing by 6:30 and in our room by like probably 7:30, and it is instead 11 p.m. and I just walked in the door. Like I literally walked in here like less than 10 minutes ago. So we got delayed in LAX, and we're not 100% sure why, besides the fact that we know our first officer was pulled off of our flight and rerouted onto a different one. So then we had to wait for another first officer. So it was about another 3.5 hour delay We already had 2.5 hours between landing to our departure out of LAX, but it ended up being like a little over 6 hours in between those flights. So definitely not ideal. Because of that though, we were supposed to work the flight one leg from Cincinnati back to Salt Lake. It was supposed to depart at 8 a.m. tomorrow. We are illegal for that flight. If you're not a flight attendant and unaware, there are minimum rest rules, and there's like the FAA rule, and then there's like whatever your airline follows, but it obviously has to be that rule or better. And so we did not have enough minimum rest in order to work that 8 a.m. flight anymore. About halfway through our flight, we got the like notification that we were rerouted essentially. So it was just gonna be a double deadhead. We were gonna deadhead from here, from Cincinnati to Minneapolis, and then deadhead from Minneapolis back to Salt Lake. You might have seen in previous vlogs of mine, like when I talk about deviating from a deadhead. So basically I was able to deviate from those deadheads, and instead of working the 8 a.m. flight, I'm gonna be just flying home as a passenger on that 8 a.m. flight and going home because Mama's tired and it's not enough sleep because I have to wake up in 6 hours from now, and I have only had about 8 hours of sleep total from the past 48 hours. So I am not doing amazing. That flight lands at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'm guessing I probably picked the worst spot to film this clip because of the lighting. Anyways, that flight lands at about 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, and as I've mentioned before, my mom and my sister and I are going to New York, and we're gonna take the red eye tomorrow night out of Salt Lake. So I need to be home before, like home in my own house, at my own door, before noon so I can repack, rest a little, relax at home before I go right back to the airport on the same night and take that red eye. If I had still kept those deadheads, I would not have gotten home till 5 p.m., like gotten back to Salt Lake Airport till like around 5 p.m., which obviously would have made the day just way more stressful, basically rushing home, rushing to pack, and then rushing back to the airport, and I just genuinely was not interested in doing that. So I am going to have a lack of sleep tonight. Hopefully I can sleep on the flight tomorrow from Cincinnati to Salt Lake. It's time for me to get ready for bed though. I don't have much time to waste. It's 11 p.m. and I need to wake up at 5:15, so wish me luck. I have to shower, I have to call my mom, and if you're new here, if you don't know me very well, I have a really hard time sleeping in general. I have a very hard time falling asleep just on a day-to-day basis. Doesn't matter how tired I am. I could be like the most tired I've ever been in my entire life, and it'll still take me 1 hour to 2 hours to fall asleep. So cross our fingers for some good luck here for me to fall asleep because Mama's tired. Now that my video is uploading to be live tomorrow, I have two priorities. Number one being the new Guardians of the Galaxy trailer that came out. Today's the Super Bowl, by the way. Everybody was watching it on our flight. So
I'll tell you something.
Time for this, Guardians of the Galaxy trailer. And then I recorded the Super Bowl on YouTube TV purely just to skip forward to the Rihanna concert in the middle of a weird football game, I guess. I don't know why there's a football game going on during a Rihanna concert, but that's neither here nor there. Those are my two priorities. And then shower, as I said earlier, and go to sleep, as I also said earlier. wasn't the vibe. Not that this is a vibe either, but at least I feel a little more me in it, so I'm gonna stick with it. Hello from day 2 of New York. We're headed to go get a bagel. I'm very excited. A bagel. And we like didn't really vlog anything yesterday, like talking wise, so I'm gonna try to talk a little bit more today. And then we're gonna go to Central Park. And I didn't mention this before, but Mom has never been to New York, so we're trying to show her all of the things we can in the limited amount of time we're here, because we're only here for like 3 full days. And as you saw, last night we saw the Neil Diamond musical, Beautiful Noise, which was amazing.
Very good. Awesome.
And then tonight we're seeing Moulin Rouge, obviously, because Aaron Tivier is back. And that's it. That's what we're doing. Moulin Rouge, Moulin Rouge, Moulin Rouge. Throwback to our Harry Styles concert. So good, so good. Good. May or may not have spontaneously decided to come back for a second night in a row. And I didn't know that when I bought row C, that it was the very front row. No idea. No idea. Last night.
I'm gonna go home for a crazy travel day.
Time to go home.
Peace out, New York.
Last night in New York.
Fun, fun, fun.
So good, so good, so good.
So good, so good.
Would also have to agree, so good, so good, so good. so good to see Moulin Rouge.
It was my pick.
From front row. And I just need to emphasize the fact that it was an accidental front row purchase. Like, we did not know we were purchasing the front row.
We thought we were getting this.
It said
third and fourth
row C and D, and we thought that was like the third and the fourth, but I guess rows A and B are the like tables in the front, and we're front row.
Front row.
Crazy.
Front row.
Crazy.
Every coin.
Worth every minute.
And